Let yourself be familiar today as you just drop into your child's pose. Resting your fingers on the mat. And go ahead and start to find your breath. Feel your breath expanding through your back. And whatever your normal breath may be, whatever that tempo looks like, it's different when you're here in this space within the four corners of your mat. Right? Because it's intentional. Rather than our movement driving our breath, which is what normally happens, our breath is automatic. Right now, for the next 55 minutes, let's let our breath drive our movement. So if we're focused on the breath first, then maybe our body will follow, they'll find that flow. Walk your fingertips forward so your elbows lift up off the floor, but keep your forehead down. Send your hip bones back, collapsing your chest a little bit more towards the floor. Feel the places where you are a little bit stuck and just allow yourself to suspend in those stuck places between your body, the floor, and the empty space in between. Good. Lift your hips forward. Bring your knees more in line with each other. Drop your knees, take your knees back a little bit, and then we're doing puppy dog pose. So instead of having your hips toward your heels, this time melt your armpits towards the floor. Letting your hips be more up. You're still pushing your booty back, but it's not going to drop to your heels because your arms are more forward. Feeling that stretch big through the underside of your arms. Come back up to center. Find yourself in your hands and knees. Close your eyes and do a couple cat-cows. Just feeling how you are with your shoulders stacking your bones right over your hands. Tuning into a tempo of a breath. And when we go to our downward dog in a moment, you're going to open your eyes and set your gaze. So take one more cat-cow. And then exhale back to a strong downward facing dog. A big breath out and open your eyes and set your gaze. Set your gaze on something that you see between your feet, back behind you. What it is doesn't matter, just look. Soften your knees, bending them a little bit if you need to, or pedaling them out. Feeling the energy of your heels pushing into the mat, but whether they're there or not isn't really important. It's that your arms are straight and your chest is really melting towards your thighs. So push the mat away energetically. Take a big breath in. Turn your gaze now forward between your thumbs. And on your exhale, walk your feet to your hands, ragdoll. Grabbing opposite elbow, feet are about 2 fists apart. And your heavy head, this head that has your mind, your brain, a lot of your essence is in that head, and it's a heavy thing that you hold up on the top of your skeleton. Let it just hang straight down. And this is your first forward fold, so the experience of having your sinuses upside down, your head upside down, bring some awareness to that. And bring some awareness to your feet. Can you lift your toes, fan them back out, and allow the arches of the inner arch and the outer arch to feel even? Release your hands. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers together and press your palms away. So you lift your arms a little bit away from your back. Just depending on your shoulder mobility, you might go a little bit or a lot, but keep that forward fold. Focusing on the breath first, release your hands and inhale, stand up. Bring your arms up towards the sky, full mountain pose. Reach for a moment here, finding this way where your feet are glued to the floor, but your fingers are making you lighter, getting longer through your torso. And then exhale, keep that length through your hips, bring your hands together to heart center, close your eyes. And I invite you to take a moment in your practice today and think about acceptance. That it doesn't mean that you are compromising. We are just going to be willing to accept that things are the way they are right now. And in fact, that uncertainty is what we can guarantee. So what is it that you have right in front of you, surrounding you in your world, in your life, that you just need to accept right now? Gently pull your pelvis a little bit more underneath your ribs so you're standing in a very neutral way, and you can engage now through the muscles of your legs, your back, your glutes. Stand up just a little bit taller. It's a subtle lift of your shoulders. Let your knees straighten as your heels really press into the floor. Open your eyes, set your gaze, and let's find a place where your gaze will go back each time we stand up. So pick that place, that's your steady gaze, your drishti, and we'll bring our eyes there again and again. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Forward fold, exhale. Breathe into a flat back, bringing your hands nice and straight in front of your legs, pressing into your shins, drawing your shoulders and collarbone wide. Good. And then exhale, fold everything down and take your feet lightly as you can back. So try not to clomp back, take them lightly back. Find your high plank. And regardless of whether you think that you're strong, you think that you're ready, you think that you're good, you think that you can or not, you are, you're here, you're in your high plank, push it away, belly is tight. Now shift forward onto those tippy toes just a little bit. So just push yourself forward. You can drop your knees here as you lower down halfway, just halfway. Stay with your chest elevated above the floor. And then transition upward dog. Lift your chest, straighten out your arms. Good. Tuck your toes, push your hips back, find your downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. We're gonna do that again, and then this time your body knows where to go. Let's focus on the breath. Look between your hands, take a big step, make your feet come to the top of the mat. Rise up, breathe in. Mountain pose, reaching up. Hinge at the waist, exhale, forward fold. Breathe for your day, breathe for your week, breathe for your body. Inhale, flat back, and then move back as swiftly as you can without a bunch of extra movement to your high plank. Find your high plank, open your eyes and set your gaze on the floor in front of you. Feel like everything, like you're an arrow that's pulled back, taut with energy. Shift forward, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward dog. Good. You got it, Susan. Don't worry. Exhale, downward facing dog. It takes some time. Breathe in. You're in your downward dog. Walk your toes in just a little bit closer. Keeping the weight in your left hand, take your right hand and reach for the back of your left calf. And then soften that right elbow and pull your chest towards your left thigh. You'll feel this big opening through the back of that leg. Really straighten your arm on your left arm so you're pushing the mat away. Yes, so I've got my right hand reaching for my left calf. Good. Put your right hand down, shift the weight a little bit. Take your left hand, reach in your down dog, pulling on your right calf. And look at how straight your arm needs to be on your right shoulder. So push the mat away, good, strong, straight arm. Good, Marco, breathe. Both hands down, take your feet to your thumbs. Feel your feet grounding down, and then inhale, rise all the way up, a little bit more energy this time, lifting, exhale, fold. Start pacing your breath first. Let the movement follow. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to your high plank. You lower down halfway to your low plank, and then when you're ready to breathe in, lift your chest, straighten your arms, upward facing dog. Remember, you can have those knees down. Roll it back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Let's do that one more time. We'll break down that chaturanga a little bit. Look between your thumbs. Maybe you're ready to try to hop or step. Find your way to the top of the mat. Good. Stand all the way up. Good. Bring your hands down to heart center. All right. And then draw your shoulders back and put your hands so they're out in front of you, and then drop them down. All right. So now you had a side view. You're not up here. Your hands are coming down, and feel this integration of your arms right in hugging into your ribs. Almost like you were going to move this arm in front of your body a little bit, not out to the side. Feel the difference? It's like in front, like I'm trying to catch my body, right, with my arms. So not here, here. That's your position when you lower down into that chaturanga, all right? Your hands are holding you up, but the arms are not coming, they don't have room to go. They can't go back here because they're drawing in and down, and when I draw them in and down, then I've got to stop, right? I've got to stop right here. And then my hands are not like up on my face, they're pulling down and back, okay? And then when we're in our chaturanga, now you can be on your knees, but then I'm just basically lowering my chest, and then we scoop up and push up into that upward facing dog, all right? Okay, inhale, reach up. Let's try it. Exhale, fold. Flat back. Find your high plank. That's your first step because you get all 10 fingers really spread out and you're really strong here through your torso. Now dropping your knees is totally fine because the work in the shoulders is still there. Pushing our body forward, hug those elbows in, and they stop you from going all the way down. Squeeze. It's still hard in your shoulders. Good. Now transition so you lift your chest. Straighten up your arms. Good. Michaela, think of your chest. You're a little bit back here. Okay? See how much space? I have a triangle between my waist and my armpits. I want you to think of pushing yourself forward so your up dog looks more like this. Do you see the difference in that, y'all? So like if you feel like there's a big gap and you're suspended in space, your hands are too far forward. You want to have that up dog push forward and you're here, squeezing in like this. Feel the difference on that? Yeah, good, that's better. Okay, so then from your up dog, watch. Toes go to the mat. Shoot your tailbone back. Good. All right. I like how that looks. Let's do it again. Breathe in. Top of the mat. Reach up. Rise up. Mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back to your high plank. The chaturanga, that low push-up, is a transition. So you can be on your knees, lower down halfway, scoop your chest forward and up, upward dog. Much better, Michaela, good. You're here, tuck your toes, roll back, downward facing dog. Good, Alana. Nice, Chris, good. Good down dog, Susan, breathe. Okay, friends. Toes to touch, walk or hop top of the mat. Chair pose, bend your knees a lot. Bring your arms up. There's your gaze. There's that point where you look. Energetically, it's like you're holding a pencil between your knees. So there might be space between your feet. It's whatever is right for you. You might have your toes touching. You should feel solid in your heels. Chair pose is one of those poses where you're being compromised, yet you're reaching, right? That's what 2020 is like. We're being compromised, but we're going to keep our chin up, gaze up, still reaching forward, booty down and back. Good work. Breathe in, because you have to remember to breathe. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back. Good. Here's our flow. Step back, high plank. If your shoulders are hurting, you can skip this push-up and go straight to down dog. Otherwise, it's great practice. We're getting that muscle memory. Rolling forward, lowering down. And then inhale to your upward dog. Good, Alana. Really good. Adjustment of your hands. Take it back. Downward facing dog. Right leg up towards the sky. Bend your right knee. Think of opening your hip that's shining down, up, so it's getting in line. It's getting in line. Gravity is tugging your right foot. It wants to come over. Let it float. Let it fall to the floor. Flip your dog. Change your feet. Facing the number 11. Reach your hips up towards the sky. Mindful, even if you have to walk your feet in, that this left arm is stacked. Breathe. Come on around, friends. Bring your right hand to the mat. Stacked right under your chest. Start turning your heels the other way. You can drop your right knee if you need to, side plank. Nice. If you're on your knee, good. Lift that leg on the top. Excellent. Reach your hips up no matter where you are. Breathe. Good work. Come back, left hand down. Take a break in your downward facing dog. Breathe. Big oxygenation breath. All right, we'll be off our hands in a moment. Take your left leg up towards the sky, not left arm. Start peeling open your hip. Drop your left foot to the floor. Turn so both feet face 12 o'clock. Lift up your hips and reach. Reach back. Maybe your head can hang. You're strong through your spine, but your gaze can be straight up and back. Good. Belly tight. Hug the glutes for stability. Come around. Left hand down. Drop your heels. Let your right hand float up. You can have your left knee down. If your left knee is down, lift your right leg. You're here, strong. One straight line, wrist to wrist. Good work. Put both hands down. Good. Step your right foot to your right hand. Rise up. Meet me in your high lunge. Good. All right, let's take our arms down. Bring our hands together to heart center. Feel your shoulder blades pulling down towards the center of your back. Bring your awareness to your right foot and feel that foot holding you up. Check in, look down, make sure you can see the toes on your right foot, that your knee isn't creeping forward. Good. If you're wobbly, like you might fall over, creep your right foot a little bit more to the right. Really nice. Check in with your left leg. Breathe. Take a big breath in, sweep your arms up towards the sky and take a little tiny back bend here. Lifting through your ribs, pushing your chest forward. Good work. Open up to your warrior two. Now your hips come in line, feels more stable, feels more grounded. You have the opportunity now to drop your right thigh closer to the floor. You don't even have to move your feet usually. Good. Steady here, breathe. Set your gaze over the fingernail on your third finger on your right hand and look at how all 5 fingers are fanned out. Palm is down. Notice if you're pushing your booty back, and can you tuck your pelvis under, engaging through these lower abdominals. Hold that and reverse your warrior. Sweep your right arm up. Let your left hand come to your hip or down your leg. Keep your right knee bent. Good. Windmill down with an exhale. Take your hands back down to the mat. Float your right foot back up. One leg down dog. Breathe. Gently put your right foot down. Find that integration through the tips of your fingers, so it's not just the heel of your hand bearing weight. Let your left foot come up to the sky. Breathe. Good work. Take your exhale, squeeze and step it through. Find your high lunge, left foot forward, sweep your arms up, get strong, set your gaze. Once you have your gaze, gently bring your hands together at heart center, but your gaze doesn't waver. Notice here how you can find this awareness in your body without even having to look. So isn't that something that you've learned? And something we can continue to learn, to know what's happening neck down without having to look. So do you think that you need to creep your left foot more to the left edge of your mat? Or do you feel stable? Do you think that you have your weight even between both feet? Or could you push off those right toes just a little bit and drop into this lunge a bit more? Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Let your arms float up and let your chin and your gaze go up. As your hips go down, let your ribs lift you maybe a little bit up and back, a little bit of a back bend here. Opening, pushing that belly button forward. Breathe, good. Open warrior 2. Make it a transition that doesn't have a lot of clutter. If your breath is all up in your throat and your chest and you're working and you're sweating, stand here in this powerful pose. Your feet are on the ground. Your arms are taut. Everything is hugging in. Like if you were being wrapped up tight, you're hugging in. Hold the gaze right over your middle finger. Look at how your hands are steady and parallel to the floor. Engage through your abdominal muscles so you're taut through your core, and then reverse your warrior gently. Lift your arm up, creep your right hand down your leg. Keep your legs in that low lunge bend. And then go windmill your hands down. You can drop to your right knee if you need to as you take your left foot up and back. Good. Float your left foot to the floor. Breathe here. Inhale, exhale. Take your right foot up towards the sky. Bend your knee, open through the hip. Do it again. Flip your dog. Both feet on the floor. Lift your hip. What? That's so not nice, right?
I wasn't expecting that.
We're supposed to do it once. What? All right. Strong here. Whatever happened last time, good or bad, it's in the past. Let's be here right now. Come on. Right hand down, side plank. Turn your body the other way. Good. You can have your right knee down. You could even lift your left leg. Beautiful, Michaela. Come back to your high plank. Push into your downward facing dog. Maybe it felt just a little bit more natural the second time. Take your left leg up towards the sky. Bend your hip. Look under your left armpit as you peel your left knee up. Go ahead. Your foot wants to hit the floor. Flip your dog. Both feet to the floor. Turn around. Push through your heels so your hips come up high. Now know where you're going. Left hand is coming down. Drop your heels to the left. Take your right hand up. Stack your knees. Stack your ankles. Good. Breathe. Excellent. Come back down to your high plank. Take your right foot up towards the sky. Step it through. Find your high lunge. Breathe. Good work. We're going to step our left knee up. Ready? Step up. Nice. Hold your, get there. You might have to take more than one step. You can even go back and do a redo. But we're all going to meet here. Left knee lifted. Arms are up high. Breathe. Good. Bring your hands down. Start letting your palms facing forward, but hands go back. Extend your left knee back, airplane. Let your chest start to become more parallel to the floor. Gaze is important. Push through your left heel. Breathe here. Bring your torso up. Set your left foot down. Ragdoll, forward fold, let it all go. We working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
We're forgetting about everything else, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. You like it? How's it feel to be totally here?
Feels alive.
Yeah, rise back up, standing on your right leg. We're not done with that leg, tree pose. Bring your left foot up. Find that place where you can find balance. Whatever it is today, it doesn't matter what it's supposed to be, what I do, what you think you should do. Your ankles might be strong today, they might be wobbly, just find it. Find it. Shoulders are engaged. Belly is so tight, rock hard tummy. Now your arms float up. Feel the middle fingers and your pinky fingers reaching towards the sky. Make your arms like a Y shape so you're really broad in your collarbone. Wobble. See if you can be like a tree. Come back to an upright. Good work. Bring your hands together to heart center. Step your left foot down. Take your right heel behind your left. Forward fold. Stretch out your legs. Put your hands on a block if they don't reach the floor. Roll all the way back up. Turn again so you're facing the front of your mat. We're gonna go through our vinyasa. That's the plank to up dog to down dog to get to the other side. So reach your arms up, energy from your toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your flat back. Step back, strong, high plank. Now you know how to be in your high plank. You know how to adjust your feet, push that mat away. Excellent. Breathe in. Now shift your chest forward without moving your hands. Bend your elbows. Drop your feet to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest, upward dog. Roll over your toes, take your hip bones back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Take your left foot, step it to your left hand. Rise up, high lunge. Feel the stability in your left leg. Your left foot is on the floor, your right foot gets lighter as the weight gently moves to your left foot. Lift your right knee, step up. Now's a good time to breathe. Now's a good time to set your gaze. Have some acceptance for what you have right now. It will not always be this way. This moment is the only moment just like this. Even if we do all this again, it'll be different. Sweep your right foot back as your palms start to float back, airplane. Good transition, good. Good, Marco. Set your gaze forward a bit so you're not going to peel your body down. It's a little bit of an up dog with your chest. Wobble as much as you need to find your way, right? We learn by wobbling, learn by feeling your left leg. Good work. Breathe here, really nice and strong. Come all the way back up. Set your right foot down. Stand on your left leg, tree pose. Find this place. The resistance from your knee pushing open and squaring your ribs over your hips helps you balance. When you're ready, let your fingers just drift up above your head. Gaze, drishti, is important. If you're looking all around, looking at your feet, not sure where you're looking, you're more likely to wobble, so be steady. If your ankles feel like they're working, they are. Bring a little bit more integration into the other big muscles of your body, of your leg, of your glutes. Good. Gently bring your hands back down to heart center. Good work. Drop your foot to the floor, and this time take your right foot behind your left and fold. Shake your head side to side. Undo your feet. Take your feet a nice good hip width distance apart. Soften your knees a lot and wrap your arms around the backs of your legs. Draw your chin towards your chest. Use the strength from your arms to hug your thighs and your ribs, squeezing them together. Like your head was going to go to your knees, anchor your hands on the backs of your legs so that you get that leverage. Good. Release. Eagle. Stand up. Take your right leg, wrap it over your left. Take your arms out wide. Sweep your right elbow underneath your left, bringing them up to shoulder height or just pressing palms together side by side. Now your gaze is important and sitting into your standing leg. So the standing leg isn't straight, right? Like a flamingo, you bend that leg, your one leg, you're strong in one leg. Hugging your thighs together, setting your gaze, breathe. Good, humble your eagle, bringing your elbows to your knees. You're working so hard today. You've come such a far way. You can do this. I'm proud of you. Stay with it. Gaze is steady. Rise back up. Good. My legs are on fire also. Unwind. Step it out nice and wide. Keep the eagle arms and fold forward. Draw your elbows so that they're more pushing between your legs. Take your feet out a little wider, Alana, so you can drop your chest a little bit more. There you go. Let all that go. Unwind your hands. Bring your hands to your waist. Nice flat back, stand up all the way. Good work. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up to the sky, and bring your hands together to heart center. Step your feet back together, eagle on the other side. Wrap your left leg on top of your right. So left knee bends and comes on top of your right, sitting down into your right hip. Arms come out wide. Good. Left arm comes under right. Bring your elbows up so they're at chin height. Set your gaze. Eagle is a strong pose, so be strong here, squeezing your thighs together, not soft in the belly. Shoulders are level. Jaw is soft, but gaze is firm. You have to breathe. Let the breathing take the lead, not your body. Keep your breathing steady as you gently drop your elbows. We're here, good. To your knees. If you wobble and fall down, get right back up. Hugging in, good. Come back up, come back up, come back up. Unwind. Oh, keep the arms, I lied. Left arm is under. Take your feet out wide. Take a forward fold with your eagle arms. Let your head hang to the floor, maybe like an elephant trunk. It can kind of just sway a little bit side to side here. Release your hands and find grounding through your hands somewhere. So if you want to grab your block, if your hands aren't on the floor, put your hands on the block. If your hands reach the floor, put them on the floor and take your feet out so wide that you might be able to drop your forearms to the floor or to the block. Think of, just try it. So the wider your legs, the lower your chest goes to the floor. You have different heights of that block. If it's not there for you, don't worry. Yep, improvise with what you got. Good. Yep, it can be on the highest height. Perfect. Find this place. All right, some of you might want to see if you have your forearms to the floor, can you basket your hands and get the weight forward a little bit, putting your head on the floor? Just thinking about it. If you're like, that's hilarious, then don't do that. You thought Flip Dog was hilarious too, so, you know, right? All right, finding your way, using your arms to give you that strength, pushing your way back out of this. Walk in your heels a little bit closer. Walk your chest over to your right leg. Use that block as a place for your hands if your fingers don't naturally reach the floor, getting some opening into your right leg. Good. Come back over here. And walk your hands over to the left. Letting your head hang. Subtly trying to bring your ribs over to your left thigh. Come back to center. If you have a block, everybody got a block? If you don't have a block and your fingers on the floor, you might be okay. We're going to put our left hand on the block. Twist your right side of your body up towards the sky. Peel your right arm up. So you're just doing a shoulder twist here. Good. If I didn't give you enough warning for the block, sorry. Toes are light. Hand is alive. Good. Take a half bind here, bending your elbow, bringing the flat part of your hand, not the palm, the other side of your hand, to your back, like you were going to reach around for your left hip. So you're really pulling that shoulder open. Good. One little movement at a time. Unwind. Come back. Right hand to that block. Move the block if you need to, so it's really centered. So you can lean your weight into your right hand. Peel your left arm up towards the sky. Feel if this does engage all the way through your hip, your opening here. Maybe peel your left shoulder back and then find this half bind as you take your left hand. Palm is facing away from your body. Reach your shoulder back, reaching around towards your hip. You're toning your nervous system by getting intentional with your breath. That really is what you're doing. With meditation and with yoga, you start blocking out the distractions and tapping into the potential of your own energy and your own mind. Good, come back around. We're gonna make our way down to our knees and slowly all the way down to the floor. Belly to the mat. Take Sphinx pose, put your forearms on the mat, palms down. Lift your chest, feel your collarbone lengthen, your shoulders in line, opening through your back. Close your eyes here, take a couple breaths. If you'd like to go further to seal, your hands stay right where they are and you just lift your elbows. And notice how when we were talking about upward dog earlier, to see this is not upward dog because it's like really hard to lift my chest, right? I'm just getting a big stretch through the back. So that might help you to remember like the difference with upward dog, just like when we're standing, is the hands are way back, right? So it's kind of like a plank pose, okay, with your arms right underneath your shoulders, because then it's easy for me to go back. So do that with me to downward facing dog. So go to your upward dog. So we were here, that's seal. Adjust so your hands come more in line. Now your upward dog, you can push straight up. Good, and then see you're in position to roll back and you didn't have to like move around a whole bunch. Good, Michaela. Shake your head here, side to side. Breathe here. Pigeon on the right. Take your right leg up towards the sky. Think about your right knee meeting your right wrist. Pull it through. Think about your left toes meeting as close as you can to your left wrist. Or your right toes to your left wrist. Sorry, what did I say? All right, you're there. You're in pigeon. Tent your fingers. Walk this chest in line a little bit more so that now when we fold, you fold with as much length through your spine as possible. Remember, you can pop a little block or your blanket or pillow underneath the space from your right hip to the floor. Rest your head either on the mat, on stacked fists, on something. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than how you think it should be. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than how you think it should be. Give in to the space that you have. If your hips are tight and you have a lot of stuck there, then be grateful that you have this moment to work on being unstuck. Good, take one more breath here. And then push yourself back up, chest is lifted. Keep your block for the other side. Take yourself back into your downward facing dog. Explore what it's like to take your right leg up towards the sky, circling out your ankle, maybe straightening and bending through the knee, feeling what it's like just to bring energy back into that leg. until your right foot goes to the floor. Take a couple breaths. Engaging through your down dog, feeling that opening through your back and through the backs of your legs. It's such a good reset. And then we'll find pigeon on the left. I like to lift my left leg, get a little momentum, left leg to the sky, and then sweep your left knee to your left wrist, left toes to your right wrist, and let your right leg slide back. Get long through your spine, walking your fingers in. The space between this left booty and the floor is a good thing. Prop it up and then fold. I really like the way that you guys are taking your time getting there and not just plopping your chest down to the floor, right? Finding that moment of being aware and a little bit more methodical. This is your spot to breathe. This is your spot to decide what you're carrying around that is just simply heavy and not actually providing any value. This is your time to continue, even though we're still, to just be breathing. This is your time to retrain your mind. Rather than looking at what other people have or don't have. I know I do that. I'm like, oh, it's so hard. I have this and I have to do that. And I have this burden with Ava and nobody knows what that's like. That's only defeating to me, not serving any value. Take a deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh out. Walk your fingers back to your legs. Take time as you bring your hands to the mat and draw your left knee back. Reset one last time in your downward facing dog. Maybe you feel right to lift your left leg, circle out that ankle, straighten and bend your knee, pressing your right heel to the floor. Often it's more attainable if one leg's lifted. And then both knees to the floor, crossing over your ankles. Let's sit up really tall. Take your hands out in front and make your way down really slow. Slow as you can. Moving in slow, slow motion. Maybe your heels can lift up off the floor. Maybe you stay in the place where you're shaking and just kind of hang there, embracing the shaking, embracing the moment where you're not quite steady. Then keep going slow, skip that hiccup. Come all the way down. Knees to your chest and just rock from pelvic side to pelvic side on your back. Take a happy baby. Reaching for your feet, grounding down from your knees into your armpits. Energetically putting the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Release your feet. Slide your legs all the way long on the mat. And let your hands just drop out to your sides. Close your eyes. Burrow down into this space if you can. And then be still. Wherever your mind starts to go, recognize that it's a habit. You can start bringing your mind to be a place where when you have this focus on your breath, it's all air, it's all blank, it's all light. Imagine you were looking into a light. When you look into a fire, it's captivating to your senses. Letting your breath be still. Knowing that you are able to move and untap this energy that you need in order to be able to be clear, kind, calm, compassionate. Like a heavy blanket is over you. Feel your body melting. And then gently start to bring your awareness back. Bring your breath back to a normal tempo. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe take a stretch with your arms up above your head, reaching really long. And then when you're ready, coming to a place at the top of your mat with your eyes closed and your hands at heart center. Close your eyes. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. Dark thought, shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Great practice today, friends. Namaste.
Namaste.